Our people are scattered, like stars in the galaxy.
This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trail into Reaction. What I'm going to be looking at today is the Season 3 trailer for The Mandalorian. Now keep in mind something though. I'm not what I don't think anyone would call a Star Wars fan. Like most people, I initially liked the original trilogy, but from that point on, things began to go astray for me. And I just began to lose interest. And sometimes I wonder why I'm losing interest in Star Wars. Part of it is due to Marvel coming on screen. Being a lifelong comic reader, that overshadowed everything. But Star Wars never really grew. It, for the most part, always revolved around Luke Skywalker. Now keep in mind, you're talking about an entire universe, yet somehow Luke Skywalker and the people around him somehow are the only people that matter. Now I understand that core group of characters is important, but at some point you have to move on. You have to introduce other characters. They tried this with the Star Wars with that was done by the guy who did Monsters. I want to say Star Wars Rebels, but that's not the title of it. In any case, they stuck too long to these same legacy characters and never expanded the universe. They would go back in time with the same characters, but the point being, it was the same characters at different points of their lives, which is getting monotonous. They need to let that go, and they're starting to do that. Though, by my reckoning, they're too late. I'm just not at all interested. In any case, let's look at the trailer, the Season 3 trailer for The Mandalorian.
Our people are scattered, like stars in the galaxy. What are we? What do we stand for? Being a Mandalorian is not just learning about how to fight. You also have to know how to navigate the galaxy. That way, you'll never be lost. I'm going to Mandalore so that I may be forgiven for my transgressions.
May the Force be with you!
This is the way.
There's something dangerous happening out there. And by the time it becomes big enough for you to act, it'll be too late.
Hang on, kid. This is the way.
Well, that was the trailer for Season 3 of The Mandalorian, and it looks fine. And keep in mind, I haven't seen Seasons 1 or 2, but by my reckoning, Star Wars needs to move in an Andor direction, which is to say, less emphasis on legacy characters and more on newer characters, and stepping away from the somewhat childish space magic nature of Star Wars in the past, which is to say, base Star Wars on logic. So maybe you can stop with light-speed X-Wing fighters, for instance, which is the dumbest, dopiest idea, and it just irritates me every time I see it, because, and I'm kind of babbling at this point, but roll with me. The idea of an X-Wing fighter that can go into hyperspace defeats the purpose of capital ships like Star Destroyers, because you can just have a whole fleet of X-Wings going in and out of hyperspace, destroying everything and hopping back in. The way hyperspace is handled in Star Wars is one of the reasons I don't particularly like it. As compared to something like Babylon 5, smaller craft, Star Furies and so forth, could not enter hyperspace without a jump gate. This way, you're grounding the technology. You're moving away from the whole space magic thing. And I get a feeling the makers of Star Wars don't even know it, that their movies are, for the most part, space magic. And they might as well be wizards and warlocks as opposed to more science-based characters. They need to stop doing it. So what do you think? This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trailing to Reaction. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like or a follow. Peace.